Hello everyone, welcome to the cardiovascular system. Today we're going to look at blood vessels, at valves, and how everything loops together. Here we go. 3 types of blood vessels: the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. Let's start with the arteries. The arteries are blood vessels that take blood away from the heart. They're the thickest ones because they're the ones who are subjected to the highest pressure. Since they come right out of the heart, and the heart is a powerful muscle, the pressure is very high. So they're thick-walled, a lot of pressure. They contain oxygenated blood. And the biggest one of all arteries is the aorta, which is similar to a small garden hose, so pretty thick. There's one exception though, is the pulmonary artery. Although the pulmonary artery takes blood out of the heart, away from the heart, it contains deoxygenated blood. So that is one exception. Okay? Let's look at the veins now. The veins bring blood towards the heart. Because of this, they have less pressure. Remember, the heart is the source of the pressure. The heart is the muscle that pumps things around your body. That's all your heart is. It's just a pump. Okay? So they're thinner walled, they get less pressure. They contain CO2 blood. The biggest of the veins is the superior and the inferior vena cavas. Superior from the top of the body and inferior from the bottom of the body. And veins, the big veins, have valves. All right? And the last one, the capillaries, which you're already familiar with. These are 1 cell thick, really, really thin. They have pores. This is where the exchange happens. This is where oxygen can come in and out, CO2 can come in and out, nutrients can come in and out. So they're found all around your organs. They're found within your skin and muscles, and that's how things get moved around through the capillaries. We say they are permeable because things can go through them, and they're so tiny. Remember, 1/50th of a hair, 1 millimeter long. They're so tiny that red blood cells go in single file in one direction. Let's look at veins now and a little bit closer, and let's look at the valves. So you got to imagine that the blood from the bottom of your legs, from your ankles, has to come all the way up to your heart. How does that happen if the pressure is really low? Well, you have valves that help. Valves prevent blood from going in the opposite direction. So once the blood goes up, imagine this vein being part of your leg. Once the blood goes up, the valve closes to prevent blood from backing up. Okay? This is how this works, and only in big veins of the body do you have valves like this. Last thing, let's look at the circuit. A whole circuit. You have thousands of circuits like this. We start with the smallest, the capillaries. The blood leaving the capillaries have a lot of CO2. They fall into venules, which are small veins. These venules fall into veins, which are bigger vessels, and these go to the heart. Now, actually, the direction is in the other way. So let's start this again, and let's start with the oxygenated blood, not to confuse you. So if we start at the capillary area, you have oxygen going from the arterioles, the arteries to the heart, and if you go in the other direction, the veins, the valves, the capillaries. What's important here is the size of these words. The arteries are big, the veins are big. Smaller version of each of them are arterioles and venules, and then capillaries is where the exchange happens. Okay, are you ready for your homework? Here it is. I have homework for you. So you may need to pause this and listen to this a few times to get it all right. Number 1, I want you to make a table in which you describe these 3 blood vessels. Figure out what characteristics are important and make a table with these characteristics in it. For example, you may want to talk about the thickness of the wall of the vessels. Number 2, what would you think would happen if big veins in your body did not have valves? What would you look like? What do you think the bottom of your legs, your lower legs, would look like? So you have only 2 questions for homework, okay? Make sure that's ready for next class. See you soon.